and welcome to my channel. My name is Allison. I make cleaning and lifestyle videos, so make sure you subscribe down below so you don't miss any new videos. Today I'm doing something a little bit different than what I normally do. I'm going to be doing a toy review. I'm reviewing these Lovevery toys that I got for my son. I had planned on filming something different, but it didn't quite work out, so I thought I'd go just a little bit off the cuff today than what I normally do. I have a son that is 16 months old right now, and I just got him a subscription for these toys. For the first year, I think it's $80, and it's every other month. And then after a year, there's 4 boxes. Those boxes are $120 each box. I do think it's a lot of money for toys, but they're quality toys, and that's really what I wanted to kind of shift over to. And you can save money if you purchase a year in advance, so that is something I did just to save a little bit of money. I did purchase these with my own money. They weren't sent to me for review, so this is going to be an honest review. I am just kind of starting off. This is a play guide. They send you these with every kit. This was something that I was really impressed with when I got it. You can see it's pretty large, and it has a lot of different instructions on how to use the toys, ideas on development. It tells you kind of where your child should be as far as their development goes, ways to use the toys. They also have other things you can do. There's things like there's a Play-Doh recipe in here. There's just different kind of games and ideas that you can do to help your development. Lovevery is sort of inspired by Montessori method, which is something sort of that you'd have to really look into because it's fairly complex, but it's a learning style that was developed quite a while ago, and it's pretty popular. And I really think it's a good method. It's something I like a lot, so I kind of lean towards toys that use that method. And now Lovevery does something I don't like, not completely Montessori. They do take other elements from things like Waldorf or other learning styles, if you're familiar with those, but they do try to focus mostly on Montessori toys. So that is kind of where this is. But I really did like this play guide. These are actually something I looked online, and people actually resell these. They do have some value to them on themselves. They're like a small book. You can see there's probably, I don't know, 20 or 30 pages of information in here, and they've got beautiful photos and text and things that you can read. So I thought this is something I actually get a lot of use out of, so I really did like this. Now, as far as the toys themselves go, they are really high quality toys. Most of them are wooden or felt. They do have some plastic toys, but it's not the bulk of what you're getting. The big toy that was in this was this racing ramp. It's two-sided. You can see it's very large, and it came with these 2 little toy cars. Now, I am a little nervous. They do have little metal pieces on the side. That makes me nervous just if they were to break. You know, maybe a child could eat it. But they seem pretty sturdy. They're very simple in their development. They're not, you know, flashy. But as far as that they work, you just put them here, and it goes down the ramp. Oops, and a little toy goes out. And the idea of this is it's supposed to teach them direction, how things move back and forth. Every toy that is in the Lovevery box has some kind of developmental purpose. It's not something that they just throw in to have something in there. There's a reason it's in there. So that's what this purpose is to teach direction. And you can see it's large, it's very sturdy. All of their woods are supposed to be made from, I believe, sustainable organic material. So I like that. You don't have to worry so much that there's chemicals that are going to harm your child on these toys, which I like that. And I like how sturdy wood toys are. Another element of Lovevery toys that I do like is that they hold the resale value. You can resell these almost as much as you'd pay for them new if they, you know, stay in good condition. So I think if you're worried about the price, you could look at it as an investment and something you could sell back when you're done with them to get the money back. So that is another thing to consider. Now, as far as this toy goes, my son did play with this a little, but it was probably his least favorite toy in the box, which I thought was kind of disappointing. It was kind of disappointing because I thought he would really love this, and I think he will grow into it when he's a little older. It just wasn't holding his interest like the other toys in the box. Now, the next toy that came in the box, and I did just give my son the toy ramp because he was crying for it, so if you hear noise, that's what that is. The next toy is this peg puzzle. It's got colored pegs on it. I am missing one. It's somewhere in the nursery, but this is what it looks like. It has all these pegs. It's wooden. It's very large. It's hard to see, but it's pretty large and it's heavy. I didn't really know what this was when I ordered it. The way this works is it has little pegs, and they stack on each other like this. And you can stack them really high, and they don't topple over because they're kind of into the peg. My son really likes to take them out and stack them like this. He really loved this toy. This was one of his favorites initially. He played with this a lot. And now he's gotten kind of tired of it, but he got a lot of use out of this. And there's also a lot of information in the play guide about how you can explain color with this. You can do quantity with it. It's something that's got a good educational value as well, because you can, add or subtract. You can, say there's how many of this or whatever. There's just a bunch of different ideas that you can use this for. So I think it's a really good toy. It's simple, but it has a lot of different uses. And I think it'll transition well as he gets older too. So I did really like this toy. I think this might actually be my personal favorite in the kit that came this month of all the toys. It's just something that I kind of like. I like the aesthetic of it. All their toys have this kind of almost pastel look to them, so if that's something you like, this might be a good company for you. Now, the next toy that came in was this bug shrub. This was my son's absolute favorite and probably still is. He picked this up right away and played with it for probably 10 or 15 minutes. It's got these little Velcro insects. There's 6 of them that go on it, and you just stick them on, and then your child can peel it off and then put it inside. And he likes to peel them off and then stick it inside, and he sticks other stuff in there and hides it. It's just a fun little hidey hole for children to put toys in. And this is intentionally to teach dexterity because they have to use their finger skills to pull these off. I can stick on the bugs, and he really likes pulling them off. It's really entertaining for him, and it's just a nice little thing. Now, I do think this is maybe not the best quality look-wise. I wish this was wooden. I think it would look nicer if they made the base wood, and this is plastic, and this is plastic. I think for easy opening and the hinge, but I really wish they would have done wood with the felt, but that's just my personal opinion. I do think that kind of lowered my opinion a little bit on this box. If this would have been a wooden toy, I think this would have been a home run as far as my opinion on this. And my son's hollering for this because he wants to play with it, so I'm going to give this back to him. And this is another toy that came in it. This is the last toy that I'm going to show you, and this has a drawstring bag, which I was kind of like, that seems like a silly item, but it's really been useful for storing it. And this, I've been calling it a sewing kit. It's got a little sort of pretend needle with a thread and a little wooden thing, and then there's a collection of different sort of beads that they can thread onto the needle. I thought this would be a little too old for him. It just seems like it takes a lot of dexterity. But he picked this up immediately and started stringing. He immediately started stringing stuff on it. He knew what to do with it. I didn't have to show him. So it surprised me how well it really worked for his age, because I would have been like, oh, you have to be at least like 18 months for this. But he really liked it. And now the only thing about this is there's a lot of little beads in this, so it tends to get everywhere. He likes to throw these little beads everywhere. And just for size, they are large. He can't eat them. They're as big as his whole mouth, pretty much. So I don't know how well that translates on camera, but they're large beads, so they're not something he can swallow. And there's about 6 different beads that go on this. There's little rings, and then it's got this really pretty little bag. And he really likes this. He still plays with this a lot. So I think this is a good toy as well. And then the last thing that came in this kit is this book's Max and Nana Go to the Park. Every one of their kits comes with a book, which I really like. It's another good educational thing. And this is also something that is a Montessori thing. They use real images generally, and from what I understand, I'm not an expert, I'm not trained in it, but they don't like sort of fantasy pictures. They want real photos. So their books and material are real people or real animals. So, there's photos of a little child in here, and my son really liked this book a lot. We read it, over and over and over. We read this book so many times the first few days this book came because he just really liked it. And it's a good quality. It's thick. It's a board book, so he's not going to tear the pages out or bend anything, really. And yeah, we've gotten a lot of enjoyment out of the book. And I love that every kit comes with a book. It'll be fun to collect them over the course of the year that I'm getting this subscription. Another thing I like too is that my son likes to use the toys together. Right now he's putting the pegs from the peg toy onto the ramp and racing those down. The toys seem to work well with each other because they're similar in size and shape, so he can kind of swap toys in and out. And I think that's really cool, and I think he'll use them a lot. Oh, hold on. Thank you. He's handing me this to show you. So this is the bottom of the peg without the pegs, if he took all the pegs out of it. But they use well. We were flipping this over the other day, and he was running little cars on the wooden thing. He really liked that as well. He's handing me his toys, but basically you can use toys for a lot of different purposes because they're wooden and they're simple, so it really brings out creativity. I really felt when he first opened this, it was like I could see his brain working. He was trying to figure out how to use these toys and what to do with them. And I hadn't seen that with a lot of his other toys, so I was really impressed with that. Now, as far as things I don't like I mentioned, I don't like the plastic on the bug shrub. I wish that had been wooden. And also, the biggest thing is the price. That $120 price tag is kind of a killer. And I was trying to buy toys initially that were knockoffs of these, and I was spending almost as much money and they just weren't good quality. They were cheap, flimsy toys. You know, I was buying plastic toys and it just wasn't the same as having the good quality toys. So for me, the price is the one thing that I think is just, it's a lot. I wish you could buy toys individually. Now they do have some toys at Target if you're looking just to try a toy out from this brand, but they're not the same toys that are necessarily in the kits. And there's also the con that it's a subscription. You can't just go and buy, you know, a toy that you want. You have to pay for the subscription or pay for at least an individual box and then cancel. So that I don't love. I wish you could just pick out the toys that you wanted, but you know, every business has to make money somehow, and that is how they make their money. So overall though, I've been really impressed with these toys. My son really loves them. They've been really a lot of fun for him, and I'm really looking forward to our next box. I think that one will come in November, but I think it's going to be his Christmas gift or one of his Christmas gifts. So, and I don't know, thank you. I don't know if you like toy reviews, if these are interest to you. If you like this kind of content, you can let me know and I'll maybe review the next box or some other toys. But generally, I try to stay on cleaning. And like I said, I had a different video planned, and the product I was going to review just didn't work. So I decided not to review that product, so this is kind of a little substitute. But I hope this video was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for coming by. Thank you so much for coming by, and I hope you all have a beautiful day today. Bye!